Was in town today. So Snap-on was in town today and picked up the August catalog for specials. Not a whole lot in this catalog. I think everybody's kind of gearing up for the tool show that's happening here next week, and start seeing deals roll out. I guess my rep was saying week 34 is when they kind of expect the specials to start showing up again. But they looks like they've brought out their anniversary edition toolboxes again. We got the Bel Air edition and the Camaro. So it's been a while kind of since I've seen the Bel Air one, but seen a few of these floating around different shops. Kind of a cool idea, but I'm not sure if it's worth the extra price tag. But looks like they've got the Bel Air available in all the different varieties, so you can kind of get with the Epic, or it looks like the KRL and the KRA series, along with the shop cart variant of it. The prices they're advertising here are pretty high, but I'm sure if you work with your dealer, you really like one. I'm sure they can get you a pretty good deal, especially with the tool show going on right now. And then looks like they've got a couple different options and colors actually on the Bel Air. I'm just used to seeing in that kind of teal blue color, but that's something to look into if that's your thing. Looks like they have a Camaro option as well, celebrating the 50 years of Camaro. And looks like they're doing the same thing. You get it with the Epic, the Masters, or the Classic Series workbenches. So moving back on, looks like now this month is they're featuring the 1/4 inch SAE or metric 3-post socket trays. I'm not a really big fan of these. I see a lot of those with broken posts, so I'm not sure if that's something I'd ever go with. Some ball Torx wrench set. So I think what kind of make these a little nicer is looks like they do a little smaller head design here. A little different than the cheap ones you pick up from, like you say, your Mastercraft Canadian Tire sets. But like I said, I don't know if I want to pay $70 for a set of Allen wrenches or hex wrench sets, but reversible air drill, keyless chuck. Say no real special. These are mainly just stuff that's being featured. Say flex head, tech angle micro torque wrench. Say we're looking at close to $700 for that. So it looks like they're offering some rebates. Haven't really looked into it closely as to what exactly you have to buy, but it looks like they're kind of sticking it to select series of toolboxes and scan tools. And it looks like you can get a hockey puck or a fitted baseball cap. See, I don't know. A lot of money to spend to get yourself a baseball cap. Looks like they're showing off their different varieties of tool carts. I'm actually a fan of tool carts. I find majority of your tools you can fit into them, and especially with all these drawers, like I say, you can probably get 90% of everything you use in those carts. And I like the carts just for the way you can store pry bars and screwdrivers as opposed to a regular toolbox, and I find they take up a lot of room. So yeah, I would definitely look into, if you're buying a cart, get yourself a nice cart. You can probably use it for quite a long time, and you'll always be able to use it even when you outgrow and you move into a bigger toolbox. But looks like this is here. They're offering some savings. Most of the time, I find they're offering about 10%, and 10% seems pretty much a given. Like I said, a lot of times you talk to your rep and they'll give you 10% no problem. So just different variety of tools. Carbide burr set. I've always just bought those from my part suppliers and never really had an issue with it. So you probably save yourself a few bucks. I think I ended up paying close to $80 for my set, and I thought that was a lot of money. So moving on here, we've got some of their 18 volt Monster Lithium cordless hammer drill kit and impact wrench kit. You know, I've really this is the area where I've struggled with Snap-on. Um, it's always made me wonder when you get on Craigslist or Kijiji here in Canada, and they're always offering these things for sale. So I don't know if they're just not as good as everybody hoped, or everybody's upgrading to the newer, bigger, badder thing. But so it's pretty hard to justify $800 when you can get a Milwaukee that works just as good, that pretty consistently goes on sale for under $500. And that's actually what I have, and you know I haven't had a nut that stopped it yet, so I'm happy with that. And I know with those batteries, they get kind of big and cumbersome for the lights, so I don't know. I don't think I'd go that route. So moving on here, it looks like they're offering some deal on pry bars. I actually, I like the Snap-on striking pry bars. They're a little pricey. I think I got a really good deal on my first set, and the second set I bought used for pennies on the dollar. So I think I have for both of my sets. I'm still under what they're offering for a sale price here. So, but if I had to choose, I would definitely go with the angled heads, not the straight ends. I just find them a lot more versatile and easier to work with, especially if you're trying to manipulate something big. It just gives you a lot more leverage. These alignment pry bar sets, I like these, especially when you're trying to line up like bumpers and stuff like that, and big awkward things, trying to get the bolt holes to line up. I find these very useful. But like I said, the price, I'm not sure I'd be willing to pay that. I bought a set of these pry bars off of Amazon from Tecton, and I think they were, peanuts in comparison for price wise. Like I think I was in like $20 range or something like that. So something to look into for that, considering you're just going to be beating on them anyway. They're kind of consumable, and for that price, who cares? Coming back to the cordless ratchet kit, a buddy of mine just picked these up, and he actually really likes it. But I seem to remember they had it on sale a while back, and it was a little bit less money. So I think it's one of those things that, talking with my rep today, and she was trying to get rid of all her battery powered stuff before the tool show. So depending on where they are, you may be able to get a discount from your dealer. Just trying to get offload a few of these. 17-piece metric starter set. There's a couple tools in there, but for the price they're asking, I'd probably buy a Snap-on ratchet. When I finally go for sockets, I actually grab my Craftsman sockets over my Snap-on sockets. I just like them a little better. And when it comes to these extensions, I like the Wobble Plus 2 extensions. So I think, if I was to do it over again, definitely I would just buy the individual pieces that I like and go from there. And then, you got the 85-piece general service Blue Point service kit. And that's a lot of money, like I said. The one that kind of catches my eye, there's a gear wrench. It's in a blow molded case river with like 454 sockets or something like that, 454 pieces. And you can get that for under $200. And like I said, I've had a set similar to that, and it's lasted me over 20 years. So moving on, we've got creepers here. Looks like they've kind of put some decorative designs on them to make it stand out a little bit more from everybody else in the shop. Heavy duty style. I think he's got a little different wheel on it, so if your floor isn't perfectly smooth, it's a lot easier to roll around on. Just kind of one of those things to kind of look into, depending on where you're working. Definitely, if you're looking at a Snap-on creeper, talk to your rep and just inquire about that. Especially if you're working on subpar cement floors, that are rather coming apart, stuff like that. They've got a little creeper seat. I've actually been kind of tempted, but like I said, I don't know if this is the way I'm going to go. But just now that I'm working in a shop without a hoist, working off of jack stands. I want something, you know, a little more mobile than an old plastic bucket. And said, going on the second to last page here, looks like they're featuring their tire balancer. So it probably is a half decent balancer. Just over the years working in tire shops, I've just kind of grown a fondness for Coates or Corgi. So like I said, the last shop I worked in, he had all Snap-on stuff, and I wasn't overly impressed with it. Things could have changed, but it just wasn't my preference. So, and then looks like the toolboxes that they're featuring this month. Like I said, doesn't mean they're going to offer any deal. It's just every month it's a new toolbox, just to kind of give you an idea of what's on the market, what's available to you. And so actually, this looks like it. They're just looks like a master series, 3 extra wide drawers. That's actually something that I like, is more of the wider drawers. It seems to be a thing of the past little while here that they've been focusing on, and I think they've been listening to the guys talk and say, hey, I'd like it this way, and they're trying to make a toolbox a little better. But yeah, that's the August Snap-on tool flyer. So all these prices were Canadian, but say if you're American, you can probably take a few extra dollars off that. But it looks like everything was kind of around that 10% mark, and if not, just a featured item. So remember, if you enjoyed it, liked my comments, let me know, and I will continue to make these for you.